Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. Today we're discussing quite the conundrum today. APHE is finally being reworked. Yes, this is true. Instead of APHE exploding in a perfect sphere, it will now explode, like this. Can someone explain what that is, please? Why the hell is Gaijin shoving this down our throats? Why do we need this? And what benefit would it bring to the game? Well, we don't know. But thankfully, Gaijin has actually given us a choice this time. Yes, an actual choice. APHE has been an unchanged feature for over a decade now, and we don't know why the hell they suddenly want to do this, but here we are now. Let's see what the community has to say about this in 3, 2, 1, bang! This is absolutely insane. The community is utterly split in half, almost equally split, which is absolutely terrifying. But let's get to business. I've noticed that most comments on this topic typically boil down to 6 key points, which we will break down and discuss in today's video. Now, immediately, we will start off with against. One against point that people always mention is that adding this change into War Thunder would demand less skill when engaging with targets. For example, Shredder Jr. brings up a good point. It says, quote, "People don't seem to understand how much more painful up tiers would be with these changes. Weak spots don't matter if there's no way to damage crew or components found within them. This change would reduce the effective skill in engagements and increase the reliance on heavily armored vehicles." Wow, Shredder Jr. brings up a very good point here. If hitting the weak points on a tanks produce suboptimal results, then players would be less incentivized to aim for them. This would buff heavy tanks quite a lot, especially in down tiers. Additionally, this would increase the reliance on tanks with higher raw penetrative power or higher armor values. This would definitely shake up the meta quite a bit, and be very interesting to see, but I do understand why a lot of players don't want to see this. I don't know about this, guys. What do you think about it? Type in the comments below. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Now, switching sides over here, let's go over the APHE 4. Let's get this in. Now, countless people in the community simply want this change and vote in favor for this change because it's realistic, and APHE in its current state is just incredibly unrealistic. It's as simple as that. I'm just gonna put some stuff on screen right now, and that's it. There's no other reason for it. Changing the entire balance of the game simply for realism. I respect it. I very much respect it. Well done, man. Let's give him a round of applause too. Let's just, you know what I mean? I'm not being sarcastic. It is a valid reason. For a game that brands itself and takes pride in its realism, having one of the most fun components in the game being unrealistic is just not a good look for the brand or its company. So I understand why they would want this change. Very good. We're getting some very good points, but we're not done yet. We're gonna go and side with 4 once again here, and a very common complaint APHE gets is that it's too unrealistic and, quote, overperforms. I'm guessing that just means it's too powerful, and it just dominates everything else. Like, you know what I mean? Solid Shot doesn't even compete. I think that's what they're just trying to say here. So let's see what one player has to say about this. Mozoburger88, nice name, buddy. "I'm all for it on paper. The current harmonious massive sphere of shrapnel is overly lethal and too forgiving of poor shot placement or cheesy weak spots like the cupolas," and I kind of agree on that, "and it's a disservice to newbies who suddenly reach the era of heat and APDS and APFSDS only to realize they know nothing of proper shot placement to disable and kill targets effectively, and it's been recognized as very unrealistic too." And then he describes how he's very curious to see how it works and all that. So yeah, very good comment made by Moserburger, very good name there. And yeah, I don't blame him on that one. Like, German mains are are to be blamed here. They just point and click, you know what I mean? Do you remember when the Tiger was at 5.3? You literally would look at something, click on it, and kill it. There'd be no effort at all. You know what I mean? And I do understand what he's trying to say. I do definitely understand what he's trying to say. What do you guys think about this one? Definitely put it in the comments below. So yeah, there are many other comments like this, very similar. I'll put them up on screen now. All of them generally have the same theme of APHE being too good, or overperforming, or just too unrealistic, and how no other shot can compete against it. Very, very interesting stuff yet again. I kind of agree, hitting a cupola and then evaporating the entire crew inside does seem a bit icky to me, but oh well, that's a story for another day. Next, to the against! To the hell with this against! We have cupolas and other weak spots are necessary to the current game's balance. Now this is a good one, and I partly agree with this. I agree with this a lot, you know what I mean? Many content creators also agree with this, and this is their main reason, stating that gameplay functionality is more important than realism. For example, one content creator who says this is Dog for Life. He's a content creator with 30,000 subscribers, and he has the same opinion as me. Or, well, agrees to this opinion, and I'll put him up on screen right now. The official...
Then also, for me at least, the main reason that I voted no on it, I'm not even really concerned about the nerf whenever it comes to like side-shotting APHE stuff, but the fact that weak spots will be nerfed, as in like the cupolas, little bitty weak spots that you can shoot on tanks, will just completely be gone away. I'm not in favor of that. I feel like the gameplay is going to be always over realism, and I do not want to play against tanks which are just going to be impenetrable from my cannon. So yeah, overall, I comes this. I'm not in favor of it at all, just because of that simple fact of the weak spot thing. And...
Run that back right now. Run that back right now. I don't mean to be a bully or mean or whatever that may be, but about
in favor of it at all, just because of that simple fact of the weak spot thing.
What do you mean weak spot thing? Look at your tank. What am I? How would you know what you're fighting? Look at this.
Oh God.
How would you even know? Anyway, the Chinese man over here we have says, I currently see this as creating a worse environment for the general health and metas around mid-tiers of the game. Cupola and other weak spots are necessary to the current game's balance and are an important mechanic for the usage of some vehicles, jumbos and other small gun heavies. As a singular change, this feels more like it would hammer into the same path of meta we're currently stuck in, surrounding overpressure while fewer vehicles can insta-kill targets, so my vote is no. Well, I say fucking whoomp whoomp. I don't know, man. It's just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, you can bush up your cupola or weak spot with a bush, and no one seems to complain. I don't know. I can't really sympathize with this much well. If you guys can just explain why I should worry about this more in the comments below, please do tell me. I just don't see this as a big issue. You know what I mean? Heavy tanks are supposed to be scary, they're supposed to be these terrifying creatures. They were never supposed to be countered as easily as they are now. You know what I mean? Heavy tanks like the Tiger H1 were absolutely feared in real life, but... You know, if you don't understand, I don't understand, so if you do, please just explain in the comments below. Maybe you could change my opinion, who knows? And yeah, I'm always happy to admit I'm wrong, so please do tell me in the comments down below. Now we are going to a comment I see quite often that I personally agree with, and it's give it a try. People are saying to give it a try. Some people want to give it a try, as it clearly states it's just a test. We don't know if it's going to be permanently added. Maybe we'll give it a try and the community hates it and we'll all universally just get rid of it. Maybe we actually like the change. You know what I mean? There is definitely some up and some down, but I think we should at least give it a chance as a community, as something as big as this has never happened. Yes, Gaijin could put their efforts into, you know, balancing the game more. Yes, Gaijin could put their efforts into reworking rounds like APCR, or rounds like mid-tier heat. Yeah, they could, you know, but they don't. This is the next best thing we got, so I'm gonna agree with this comment up on screen. And yeah, I'm quite excited. Now, for the last one for against, I have fear it might nerf their nation. Now, bear with me here. I put this one as a substantial reason why people would go against it, because it's not too far-fetched. When I first heard of this change, this rework, and how it would nerf cupola shots, I immediately jumped around and got excited for Britain, and how it would buff Britain, how it would buff France, and how it would buff the like underdog nations, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be too scary or too unimaginable to assume to simply preserve their own nation's strength. to simply preserve their own nation's strength, per se, you know what I mean? Or their current place in the meta, or they just don't want it to nerf, you know what I mean? There's a lot of fears. This is quite a big change, and I understand why people would make a selfish decision. But at the end of the day, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you've made it to the end, please type in the comments something silly or like I like cats or something, and I will notice you. I'll give you a heart. I mean, I give everyone hearts, but you know what I mean. I'll type in something funny in the comments, and I really appreciate it. The reason I'm asking for you to do this is because I seriously appreciate it. Every time I gain 1 subscriber, I jump all happy, and I'm really glad. I'm very grateful I get to be your entertainer for the past 10 minutes, and I'm so happy. Thank you for clicking on my video. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I hope I was able to satisfy your desire for this update and its change in information and all that. And yeah, please consider liking and subscribing. I so appreciate it, guys. You wouldn't believe it. And yeah, that's it really. Thank you guys so much for watching. Ciao, ciao. See you in the next one.